Good morning, everyone. Please rise and join us in the singing of Spirit-Led, Spirit-Fed. The words are in your program, if you don't already know them. I'm Spirit-Led, Spirit-Fed. Everywhere and always I am Spirit-Led. I am Spirit-Led, Spirit-Fed. Everywhere and always I'm Spirit-led, rolling like a river of peace. I am nature's wandering child. Love cannot be added to me. I am made in the divine. I am Spirit-led, Spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I'm Spirit-led. Spirit-fed, everywhere and always I am Spirit-led. There's magic in every day, like a beautiful song. And as we're choosing our way, there's a voice inside to guide us along. We are Spirit-led, Spirit-fed. Everywhere and always we are Spirit-led. We are Spirit-led, Spirit-fed. Everywhere and always we are Spirit-led. We are Spirit-led, Spirit-fed. Everywhere and always we are Spirit-led. We are Spirit-led, Spirit-fed. Everywhere and always we are Spirit-led. Everywhere and always we are Spirit-led. Everywhere and always we are Spirit-led.
Thank you, gentlemen. And good morning. You may be seated. Welcome. Good to have you here. Hello, hello. And hello to the live streamers today who are joining us either on Facebook or YouTube. We're so thankful that you are here, and we're just going to take a moment and feel your connection, your energy with us here in person. We're all in this together. We're all participating in this service. If you are new today, if you found us, if you just maybe want to say hi, or just if you're joining us, just say hi in the comments section so that we know you're here, and our wonderful greeter, Debbie, will welcome you with virtual hugs. All right, and joining me here is the lovely future minister team member, Pat Webster, who is going to be our speaker today. Yay! And I am going to, do you want to light the divine light candle? And as she does that, if you would like to follow along in the program, or the sheet in the seat back in front of you that has our opening invocation. And just take a moment to find that. Take a moment to breathe into your heart center. And together, there is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life. God, the good omnipotence. And so it is. I'll sit
I surrender. I trust and I know. As I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. I trust and I know. As I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms of love.
And so this is our opportunity to dive even more deeply into those arms of infinite love. So I invite you to sit back, begin to take some nice, deep, cleansing breaths. Put anything that might be in your lap on the side, and just carve out this time in this moment to be fully present, to answer the call of Spirit that is calling you to come inside, to open to the infinite love and peace and joy that is at the center of your being. So as we breathe, we release the outer world for just a moment. Release the to-do list, release the attachment to the world of effect. And we breathe into the center of our being, into that heart center where we know there's an endless, infinite pool of divine love. And as we recognize it, as we allow it to expand within us, it fills our entire being. It fills our consciousness. It vibrates within us, radiates out from us. It is this one infinite life, this one divine presence that we are. Breathing that in. We allow ourselves to sink ever more deeply into this infinite pool of love for the next couple of minutes. So having had this experience of this peace and this divine presence and this healing energy moving through us, through our body, through our mind, connecting us with each other, with all of life. Together we have created this energy, this healing light. And so into this healing light, I invite you to speak forth gently aloud the names of people who might not be feeling this peace. Friends, loved ones, people you don't even know. Doris, grandchildren. Lydia, Juliet, Brian. And so knowing in this moment that each of these individuals are surrounded by this divine light and are becoming aware of this peace, of this love, of this wholeness that exists within them. This is the healing moment that we welcome, that we are so grateful for. And so taking a nice deep breath, beginning to bring our awareness back into the room. When you're ready, gently open your eyes, stretch your body a little bit. And look around you, see these other faces of that infinite love shining back at you. And with this energy from this place, I invite you to say our vision and mission statement, which is on the sheet, in the seat back in front of you, or on the front of the program. And just find that. And together we say our vision statement. We envision the divine light awakening in all. Our mission: we center in peace and love. We connect in our hearts with others. We celebrate our journey toward wholeness, and we empower others to experience their spiritual magnificence. And so it is.
We're Jewel Song, happy to be with you here today. Happy to be with you here today.
Our first song treats this time of year, the fall, with a special notice of the yellow cloudless sulfur butterflies that are probably now making their fall migration up the coast of North Carolina. It's a short migration. People don't know yet why they make that migration, but they do. And Jewel Song had the pleasure of being at the beach during one of our let's go to the beach and see if we can get creative. And sure enough,
she did.
This song is based on what we saw as these yellow butterflies just kept going down. Has anybody else seen that? Usually late at September, October.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they're migrating up the coast in
That's
the fall.
So
Kinda
Betsy
backwards.
calls them yellow clueless butterflies.
They seem to be going the wrong direction.
But they know what they're doing.
This was written by Sophiana, and this is Betsy. I'm Faranisa, and this is Marilyn. We're Jewel
Okay.
Song.
Yellow and gold, winging above, spiraling dance, singing of love, wandering in the soft and hazy skies, on your journey by the sea. Your sacred dance inspires me. I am entranced by what I see. Lovely cloudless sulfur butterflies, sing your song of love for me. Summoned to flight by nature's hand, wending your way to a new land. Each one alone, each one apart, moving as one great heart. Please sing for me, so I can hear your divine song, joyful and clear. Each of us is like a butterfly, traveling toward divinity. Summoned to flight by nature's hand, wending our way to a new land. Each one alone, each one apart, moving as one great heart. Yellow and gold, winging above, spiraling dance, singing of love. Each of us is like a butterfly, traveling toward divinity. Each of us is like a butterfly, traveling toward divinity.
Oh my gosh. You know, I had to sleep a little later because I got to bed later than I planned last night, and I knew I needed to go to sleep because I had to do the message today. But you know what I didn't get done? I didn't get done that email to my realtor about that house that I've got for sale on the beach. But you know, I need to get centered. I need to get centered because I'm giving the message today. Ever start your mornings like this? I've got on this. It's turned off? Okay. Okay. So the title today is Building the Muscles of Divine Order. And I'm going to give us all share some handy dandy tools to create that in our lives. But first, let's talk about divine order. Divine means of the nature of God. And order, the elements of divine order are OBSA, O-B-S-A, order, balance, sequence, and adjust. Now, Reverend Victoria started 2 weeks ago with telling us about the order of the universe. That if something had been 1/1,000,000th of a degree off of something, the Big Bang wouldn't have happened, and the universe wouldn't be here, and we wouldn't be here. 1/1,000,000th. Because the universe and all the existence began with an idea in God's mind, and then God had to create order to make it happen. God had to do this big order. So some people think it's the first of the divine powers. A brilliant young friend of mine, I have a group that we do a little gratitude text first thing in the morning. And she's just fallen in love, and she's brilliant. So here was her gratitude text for the morning, and it's worth reading. At the beginning of human history, the odds of that specific man meeting that specific woman and that specific sperm fertilizing that specific egg on and on, generation after generation for 2 million years, those odds of my ever having come into existence were 1 in 10 to the 47,000th power. That's 1 in 10 with 47,000 zeros behind it. We have a greater odds of winning the lottery every day than of standing here right now, of being here right now. You were meant to be here right now. I was meant to be here right now. Our ancestors were meant to be here before us. So, well, the universe is so big. So today I thought I'd bring it home a little. And from the grand to the local, how do we create order in our daily lives? I have some handy-dandy practical tools to share with you. I was inspired by an interview with a man during the 9/11 celebration on TV. And this was one of the first responders. He wasn't on duty. He was just a first responder up in New Jersey, and he heard about it, and he drove down, and he worked for days and days and days nonstop at the ground zero. And in the process, an 800 or 8,000 pound beam fell on his foot, and he lost his foot. And he was still so upbeat. And in an interview, he said this thing that really inspired me. He said, you know, there's that saying that you only live once. Well, that's a lie. We only die once, but we live every day. So what can we do to make this precious life as full and divinely inspired as we can? Well, here are some things that are true. Because we're created in the image of God, we also have our own individual piece of that divine order. That divine order that created the universe. Everything in it. We've got our piece of that. What? What, you say? I sure don't feel that way when I wake up in the morning to a challenging day. May have got to have a difficult conversation with somebody or a big project. Or one morning several months ago, I found out the house I had for sale had flooded just before we were about to put it on the market. What divine order in the universe? A Course in Miracles tells us that the chaotic thoughts are all lies. This came to me, it was the A Course in Miracles message while I was, over the last 2 weeks, while I was preparing this message. I thought, thank you, A Course in Miracles. Thank you, Divine Order, for delivering this to me. So all the chaotic thoughts in our mind are lies. Order is truth. Our capacity to create order and to do the will of the divine of us in our life is our decision, our choice to make. So are we going to make that choice every day or not? Want to live happy? Might be a good idea too. This is to be distinguished from order on the outside. I grew up in a house, my mother was a home economics major. And the beds had to be perfectly made, and everything had to look right all the time. Well, Paul Hasselbeck reminds us that insisting that everything be on order coming from the outside realm is a bit obsessive. It is obsessive, and he calls it even anal. Okay? So we don't want to be that. We want to start with ordering on the inside this morning. No, not this morning. Actually, it happened this morning. But some mornings, the divine order is not to make up my bed. Other things take priority, and I never thought I'd outlive making my bed no matter what. Anyway, so Do you want some tools and practices to help with divine order in your life? Unity has 5 principles, and I'm going to squash them together a little bit. But it says that after we realize that we have the power of the divine, and we realize that about everybody, and we contact that power in us, and we know that our thoughts determine our life. Once we do all that, the 5th step is to take action. So taking action is building our muscles. So I'm going to start. You have a handout in your bulletin, and it's 2-sided, and oops, the first one looks like this. Suggested routine for creating daily order. This came from a neuro-wisdom course that I took online with this amazing man named Mark, what was his name? Mark Waldman. And he's done about 35 years of neurological research on what helps us become enlightened and what are wise things that we can do that help our brains support us in that journey. I first came across him when I came across this little book called How God Changes Your Brain. And he had started doing some research. Actually, I was in another church where they weren't so big on diversity, and I was trying to promote some diversity. And so basically they started out, he and a colleague started out doing some research to prove that meditation is hoo-ha. It's like not all this big deal, you know, all this hype about meditation. So they started doing research in meditation, and it totally turned them around. They found out, oh yes, within 4 to 6 weeks, meditation can produce positive neurological changes. So he's a real gift to us, and I want to share one of his daily routine gifts, and I've tweaked this a little, but here you go. Okay. So if we wake up with negative thoughts about the day, remind yourself we've got these tools. Like, that's what I did this morning. Okay, Pat, listen to your message. You've got the tools. Okay? And starting with gratitude is a really good idea. I usually put on some of Karen Drucker's music. Yes, and find myself gratitude, dancing as I make my bed and whatever. And then grab your coffee and get your journal. And write in your journal down those fears and worries and excitements, everything. Unity does, although we're positive and affirmative, it does not want us to deny those negative emotions, worry, doubt. And what we do when we write them in our journal is it gets them outside of us so that the journal can hold them. And also it helps us when we go to one of the next steps to get clear about what we're releasing and therefore what we want to affirm in the affirmative prayer process that Reverend Victoria talked about last week. So write down your values for the day. I'm going to share a little of mine. My value for this day, and this is just a kind of one line. You can write down one thing or just several things. Wisdom, love, joy, and an adventurous life. That was my values for today. Okay? And then you write down your goals for the day, things you want to accomplish. And then you turn those into a list. You can even prioritize the things on the list, and yet I want you to remember to throw in your organic energy. There's some research that says that things have a 90% greater chance of happening if we write them down. And let's see. Oh yeah. And sometimes I prioritize, and I'll have like time to do like the first 2 things that are priority, and my body will say, I am not up for that right now. I do have some energy to do this thing on the number 2 priority. And then, so it's good to remember that the root word of organize is organic. So first of all, organically, we have this RNA, DNA to order because we're made in the image of God, and we also can listen to our bodies and what they have to tell us. Okay, then I left this out after number F. Write down affirmation. After your goals, write down affirmations. And I'm going to be bold enough to read mine for today because the first song that came on Karen Drucker's Pandora station was the one, and I never heard this before from Karen Drucker, where she was singing, and that wonderful quote that's attributed to Marianne Williamson about our greatest fear is not that we're too little, our greatest fear is that we're scared of our magnificence, some version of that. So I'm going to be bold with my affirmation for today, which is, I am earnest. Oh yeah, this as I was writing down my worries, this quote came on the email that was the quote for today, and it says, if a person is earnest, they have no fear about the outcome. So that helped me drop my fears today. So I used it in my affirmation. I am earnest. I am wisdom. I am smashing in delivering the divinity-inspired message, divinely inspired message at UCP. Now, I'm using those words. It's a little bold to say it because I want to inspire you to claim your magnificence. So I wrote, I'm smashing. I love doing it, and actually I'm having a good time right now. I am joy and wisdom, and I have embodied the divine of all, and that I have embodied. The divine of all this flows through me as a gift to those present. That was my affirmation today. So then, after you write down your goals and write down your affirmation, then we can go right into affirmative prayer, because now we're really clear what we want to release and what we want to do, and we sit in the silence and we hear whatever comes from that. The thing God told me in my meditation just now is, oh yeah, Pat, you can relax now. You can relax, okay? Optional in this, sometimes is some time in nature to see how the order of nature is a mirror of us. Also, it has been research approved, if you're taking a walk and you can say your affirmations out loud with zeal, research has shown that they're more effective. Saying them aloud, this came from Paul Hasselbeck in his Metaphysics 3 course. Okay. So, let's see, I think that's it. Oh yeah, and then get up and get on with it. Number 5, the action step. Okay. So then I want to share with you another handy dandy tool, and this is for organizing larger projects. Sometimes I use it to organize my whole life. Sometimes I use it for one thing. Up at the top is, I'm just going to give you a brief outline of how I use this to organize about my health. Some of you may know that I've been in a journey in relationship with anemia of undiagnosed origin for about 2 years. And it started out, low normal hemoglobin is 12. Mine started out with a hemoglobin of 5.4. And so I've been on this journey. So I needed to really focus my divine order on how I was going to work in my own healing. So first, you write down the data. This is on the other side of your handout. And there are 3 parts of the data. One are the facts. So the facts is the diagnosis I wrote down. And I did go through a period where I was aware of the possibility that my life and quality of the life could be shortened and diminished. So I wrote that. And I also, because I was going, well, should I get a second opinion, blah, 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 I had to remind myself that several of my well-respected medical colleagues said, your hematologist is fantastic. No need for a second opinion, okay? So then you write down the subjective data. And those are our feelings and emotions. So I had to write down, you know what, I'm a little scared. Yeah, I'm scared. And in that fear, I also had to notice that there was an impulse to grab. You know, there's so many alternative healing. Oh, let me do a little this, let me do a little this, let me do. And I knew that was coming from a place of desperation, not from God's power of wisdom and discernment. So I had to write that down. I had to note that impulse so I could let it go. Spiritual data. I am made in the image of God. And one of God's powers, and therefore my power, is perfect health. Perfect divine health, wholeness, and vitality. I had to remind myself of that spiritual data fact. And the other thing is, oh yeah, I know that power of affirmative prayer, and I'm going to put in a plug for Reverend Victoria's workshop. That's the most powerful thing, one of the most powerful things I've gotten since I came to Unity. So then I wrote down my goal. By the time we write all down those things, a goal can get pretty simple. So my goal is to claim and return to perfect health, to claim it and return it. Then we write down the approaches. That turns into our to-do list. Release any thoughts that interfere with this goal. Use my intuition, my power of wisdom and discernment to choose which of all the approaches available are right for me. So I decided, what came to me is I did a shamanic healing with Oswaldo. And then a type of meditation that Paul Hasselbeck had recommended in our manifestation course when I asked him, well, what do you got for healing? So I decided to check out this form of echo meditation. I want to put a plug. Dawson Churches wrote a book, Bliss Brain. And yes, mine. My hemoglobin started climbing way past the time when the medical stuff should have made a difference when I started the eco meditation. Look it up, Bliss Brain, okay? And then I asked Pat Venema, I went and had a session with her, and because she worked at Unity Prayer, and she really is good with fine-tuning those affirmations. So she helped me with an affirmation that I also write down every day in my journal, okay? So there is the process for dealing with things. I use this, I was away, I just took time out for 5 weeks, and when I got back, it's like I was starting a new chapter of my life. I'm starting seminary in November, full-time, second year. I'm moving next month, so I took the sections of my life, my personal life, my work and service in the world life, my financial life, my house, car, maintenance, that kind of thing. I just take each of those and run them through this. It really helps. And then I make a list, and I've got my marching orders, okay? So it's your turn. Second half of this handout. Pick a project or a piece of your life that you want to work on. It could be something big or something little. It could be like, I want a new job. That's a big thing. Or I'm not happy in my job, so let me do some work around that. Or it could be a little thing like, I want better health, or I want to lose weight, or I want to learn to balance my life. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I did that one a lot at some period in my life, okay? So pick a project. If you got a pen, if you want to pick a project, you can write it down. You can think it if you don't have a pen. And then write down the facts. Just write a few of the objective facts. Could be, let's see, there's some jobs available out there with the pandemic. Some of the jobs have been emptied. I've been at this job for a while. Mary's going to hand out some pins, I guess. I thought we had some in our seat back. Maybe not. Okay. Write down some facts. I've tried to lose weight before. So I need to do something different or go back to the old things that I didn't do. Yeah, and then write down your feelings. Oh, I feel dismayed about this. Or I feel kind of excited when I see myself in a new job. I'm a little scared to leave the safety of my former job. Write down some of the feelings. that go with your project. And just make these brief. You can expound on them when you get home and bullet them now. And next, write down some spiritual truths. Write down the spiritual truths. I am power. I am will. I am wisdom. I've been through hard times before. I've been scared before, and when I acted on my excitement, I moved through my fear. Or affirmative prayer works. Write down some spiritual truths. And with this information, the goal may get clarified. My goal is to find balance in my life. My goal is to explore jobs that might be available. My goal is to see how my current job might be more satisfactory. My goal is to survey the field. Whatever your goal is, write down your goal. Hopefully it's simple by this time. It's simple and clear. And let God's wisdom and guidance inform you as you write down your goal. And then after that, write down 2 or 3 steps. You can do more when you get home, but write down 2 or 3 steps you're going to take. They could be the tiny steps. I'll start talking out loud with zeal when I do my daily walk. I'll start a daily walk, even if it's 5 minutes. Just 2 or 3 approaches. And you can expand on these if you want when you get home. Okay, take another 30 seconds and finish up for now. And then put your list aside. And I invite you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. And with the exhale, release anything about any thoughts or feelings about this project, anything that doesn't serve you. Feel them flowing with your breath all the way out through, down your body and out through the bottoms of your feet. And now, as you continue to breathe deeply, see yourself doing 1 or 2 or 3 things on your approach list. On your approaches, on your list, what will I do? See how you look doing these things. Feel how it feels to be doing these things. Hear how you sound if you're speaking or if you're talking even to yourself or if you're doing your affirmations out loud with zeal. And then release that and see yourself having accomplished your goal. Once again, see how you look. Feel how it feels to be there. See how you sound. Really take this into your body. Really take this into your body, your mind, and your heart. And now, open your eyes. You've got your marching orders from the divine of you, so get on with it. Chris has got some marching orders.
I wrote this next song. It's called Kirtan. And then we added some kirtan. Kirtan means sacred chanting. So you'll hear Om Mani Padme Hum. May the jewel of enlightenment be always in the lotus of consciousness. You'll hear Abundabashmaya, O Mother, Father, Birther of the Cosmos. You'll hear El Allahu, only the divine exists. And you'll hear from the Zoroastrian tradition the beautiful name Ahura Mazda, which means indestructible wisdom and is both masculine and feminine. Kirtan transcendent.
This is how the mantra begins, rising all around, breaking through each thought and form, being each sound. This is how creation bespeaks, breaking on the shore, breathing every thought and form, being far more. This is how eternity flows, everything as one, all thought, all form, arisen new, being begun. This is how the blessing descends, ever to increase, shining in each thought and form, being at peace. This is how eternity flows, everything as one, all thought, all form, arisen new, being begun. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om
Thank you, Jewel's song. Wow, that was beautiful. It was truly an interfaith, interspiritual experience. And here we had this practical information, and weaving in with that an experience of spirit. That's really what we try to do here. Like, I want to experience it. I want to have this, and how do I bring that experience into my practical everyday life when I wake up and feel overwhelmed, right? It's a really good balance, and that's something that we strive for here. So if you enjoy that idea, you want to be part of that, let's support it, which segues nicely into my request. Now that we have reached the offering part of our service, to please, if this speaks to you, if this is really feeding your soul and giving you the tools you need to live a joyous, successful life, then support us. And in that effort, in supporting this, we will continue to be here and continue to have special music, special guests, events like World Day of Prayer that we had, and continue to reach out. We are a tithing community, so part of every month, 10% of what we that comes in, we tithe to organizations, local charities, as well as the Unity, Silent Unity, and things like that. So lots of ways to make that that joyous giving. This is an energy that is love, that you're saying, you're opening your heart and you're saying, yes, I want to support that. Many ways to do that. That's in your program. There's a Venmo thing that if you have a phone, you can set that up and text it and Venmo it. Or if you are a conscious sustainer, that means you've signed up to have to be a consistent giver, and that's the green card. So if you have done that, you can take the green card out and hold that as your symbol of that love that you are sharing with this community. All right, so take your gift, your tithe, your offering in your hand. Maybe place it to your heart as we say together our abundance blessing. Take a deep breath. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. So it is.
I'm happy, I'm joyful, I am fulfilled. I'm happy, I'm joyful, I am fulfilled. I'm aware of all my blessings, so much love I can't sit still. I'm happy, I'm joyful, I am fulfilled. I'm happy, I'm joyful, I am fulfilled. I'm happy, I'm joyful, I am fulfilled. I'm aware of all my blessings, so much good I can't sit still. I'm happy, I'm joyful, I am fulfilled.
All right, thank you. And if you would just join me and allow that abundance of love to flow through your heart and out through your hands, we just bless these gifts, which are expressions of love, expressions of appreciation. So we bless them knowing that they do go forth and multiply for this spiritual community and for the giver. Pressed down, multiplied, and running over. And so it is. So it is. All right. And again, if there is there anyone who's visiting us for the first time today? No, I think everybody we've seen before. So thank you for being here. And again, if you're joining us on the live stream, if you are new today, just sort of put your name, say hello in the text, and our wonderful greeter, Debbie, will share some information with you. There's a form you can fill out, and just press the button that she's probably putting up there now, and there's a free gift for you in that. All right, one more time, Jewel song.
This is a song called One Pure Soul. I wrote it at a Sufi retreat about the Aramaic words of Christ. So it has that, we've done some of that here with the Dance of Universal Peace or the Lord's Prayer. Yeah. So you'll hear some of the concepts from that.
One pure soul.
Wait. We did not get our notes. Sorry.
Okay.
B flat.
One pure soul. One bright spirit. One courageous heart. With one true voice. Gives my soul what it longs for, one intense desire for one clear choice. Bum 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 ba-dum bum bum ba-dum bum bum. One pure
spirit, one courageous heart, with one true voice, gives my soul what it longs for, one intense desire for one clear choice. Now I see all too clearly, there is only one thing I can do. Take this world of pain and sorrow, dream a better dream, and follow through. Endless war, widespread hunger, collapse and devastation are all around. Jesus said, ask intently, seek your goal with passion, it will be found. Make a space deep within you, purified of hidden hopes and fears. Knock and wait, doors will open, you'll see beyond this crazy veil of tears. Here's my quest, earth in balance, people live in peace and harmony. So I ask, single-hearted, trusting in the power of the mystery, for your pure soul, your bright spirit, your courageous heart, with your true voice, gives my soul what it longs for, one intense desire for one clear choice, one intense desire for one clear choice.
Thank you. Jewel's song. Wonderful. Okay, so we have lots going on starting today and this week and the next like 10 days, lots going on. So most of it is in your program, so you can find out more about that, and how to know more is to go online and on our website that has a lot of information. But I just want to briefly share with you a few things. This afternoon, we're having a living room conversation, which is the organization that helps bring people together, usually from different walks of life and different points of view, and opens up a conversation. Today's conversation is about homelessness. So yeah, that's my prayer. Can we find something that actually rises people up out of that? Lots of different, ideas out there. So maybe in the conversation, we can explore some ideas and come up with some solutions, because it really is something that, how do you explain to your children that in this abundant, prosperous country, there are people who are on the street who have nothing to eat and nowhere to live? I mean, it's just, how to explain that to yourself, right? So a big topic that really is worthy of a discussion. The next thing is the Wednesday night watch party. This is something that we do at the last Wednesday of every month, and it's just so much fun. And you never know who shows up at this thing. Usually some people that we haven't met before that kind of find us and show up, and it's really great. We watch a movie together that is educational or enlightening or spiritual, and then we have a conversation afterwards about it. And sometimes they're so stimulating that conversation goes on for a while. It's like you don't want to leave. This Wednesday, we're showing something called enlightenment. They talk about how we overcome our fears, how do we reconnect with our intuition, connect with our power, and the power of intention. So it's always a good time. So you'll find out more about that by going on our website. And as Pat mentioned a couple of times, and I talked about extensively last week, the Affirmative Prayer Workshop. This is something that I'm teaching and probably won't for another couple of years. So really, this is your opportunity to know about one of the fundamental tools that we have in Unity. It's meditation and it's affirmative prayer. Those are the tools that help us connect with that spiritual self, that wholeness within us. And affirmation is how we bring that into our experience. It is the tool that is there to help us realize our dreams. So if you want to know how to use this, please sign up for this class. Even if you've taken a class in affirmative prayer before, it's an opportunity to deepen your understanding. I've been doing it for years and years, and I have some insights about how to sort of work it to really make it work. Really have it work for you. So please sign up. It's this Saturday, so running out of time here. We will be meeting on the back patio. Hope it's a good day. I think it will be. So therefore we can meet without masks on if we're outdoors. And then for an hour and a half the next Sunday after service. So I hope to see you all there. And all of you online. And we need, if there's a lot of people that want to take it who can't get here, we might figure out a way to do a hybrid thing so that people can come in, via Zoom. So let me know if that's something you really want. We'll figure it out. Okay, so you can stay connected with us through the week by signing up for our e-news. On Facebook, we got our Facebook page, and Debbie is always posting stuff throughout the week, really fun stuff. There's affirmations there, there's some video stuff, and, just kind of go there and like it and share it. Spread the word. We also have on YouTube, all of these Sunday services are recorded, so if you miss something, you can, or you want to see it again, you can watch it there. Okay, and last but not least is our 3-minute miracle. And this is your opportunity to sit with someone who is trained in affirmative prayer, who can sit with you and help to, if there's something going on with you or with a loved one you want to hold in prayer, and you really want to feel a higher truth. You want to feel into a higher truth about your situation so that you can move through it with ease. It's called a 3-minute miracle, and boy, it is. And we have Lorraine Lewis, who is our prayer partner for today, and she's going to meet you on the side of the building. So you can either take this ramp down in the back, or in the front and go around the side, and it's just kind of safe out there, outdoors, and she'll pray with you. All right, I think that is it. Yes, it is. Okay, so let's say we're there at the, yeah.
I believe we are.
Okay. I guess there's one more thing I've forgotten. No, so please rise. Let's say our prayer protection with I am statements, and then sing the peace song together. And the words are here if you need them. Okay, take a deep breath together. Be present and available to this energy. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.